Hello, welcome back to part 3 of Math is Easy, Step by Step. And we're working on part 3 video and the second method you could use to find the answer to the question, given the rectangle PQ, R, and S, as shown below here in the graph, what is the diagonal between point P to point R? And in this second video, we're going to be looking at how you use the distance formula, as you can see here. So in order to use the distance formula, if you look with me down here, distance equals the square root of x2 minus x1 raised to the second power plus y2 minus y1 raised to the second power here. In order to use the formula, you need to label points P and points R with X and Y ordered pair values, which I've done here and I talked about in the prior video part 2. So again, P was the first value. I just labeled it X1, which automatically makes my Y value for P my Y1. And automatically makes R ordered pair X2 and Y2 values. So I organized, I double check, my X1 value is 2, that's correct. My X2 value is 8, that's correct. My Y1 value is 6, okay, that's correct. My Y2 value is 2, and that is correct. So I'll take my organization, X and Y values, X1, X2, Y1, and Y2, and I'll one at a time substitute them into the formula. So if my x2 value is here, 8, I'm going to substitute 8 where I see x2 minus x1. My x1 value is 2. I'm going to substitute it here for my x1 value. Right now I'm just substituting values. In the formula I have a y2 value here. So I'm going to take 2 and substitute it where I see y2 minus my y1 value. I'm going to take 6, substitute that for my y1 value. When you're rewriting your problems, don't forget the power to 2. It's very, very important. And also, of course, your plus sign here in the middle. And as I mentioned earlier in other videos, when you have a square root, it's always plus slash minus when you're working with these square roots. But when you're working with distance, you're not going to have a negative distance, at least not in this format or two-dimensional format of measurement. I hope that makes sense. And if not, well, don't worry. This is what you should have after substituting your values. 8 minus 2 raised to the power of 2 plus 2 minus 6 raised to the power of 2. Now you're simply just going to follow the order of operations and simplify. So I want to show you how, whether you use Pythagorean theorem or you're using the distance formula, you're going to come up with the same answer. Now you just need to decide which method is best for you. I have to apologize for the shaking. I really need to get a new camera. Times are tough. But anyway, let's move on. So 8 minus 2 is 6. 2 minus 6 is a negative 4. Wouldn't worry too much about that negative at this point inside the radical, because we have this power of 2, which means 6 times 6 plus negative 4 times negative 4. Two negatives when you multiply will be a positive. I'm not too worried there. So I'm just showing you the next step. 6 squared is 6 times 6 plus a negative 4 times itself is negative 4 times negative 4. I'm going to go ahead and raise this up just a little bit and show you 6 times 6 is 36, and a negative 4 times a negative 4 is a positive 16. You add these together, you're going to end up with d equals the square root of 52. And as you may have seen, oh, we got some shaking going on here. I apologize for the shaking. I need a new camera, darn it. As you had seen in the part 2 video, you want to try to break down that square root of 52 to see if it's a perfect square. The closest perfect square would be 49, 7 times 7, 8 times 8, 64. So you got a 52 right in between. You could possibly simplify this. Yes, you could, I believe. You have multiple twos that you could pull out. But I don't want to confuse you by doing that because the answer is left as a square root of 52. You can see here. So distance formula gets you the same exact answer that we got with Pythagorean theorem. The answer is D, square root of 52. Now, earlier I talked about eliminating possible answers that may not fit. And that E, 10 units, as you can see, it just doesn't fit. A lot of times when you have repeating options or options that look exactly the same, they could be part of the answer. But you can't just rule out that option E. You got to go through the steps and go through the motions. But it's something to look at. If you had to guess, I would not include E. I would include some of those other values that seem to repeat somewhat. So math is easy. Take it step by step. The answer here is, again, D, square root of 52 units. If I've helped you, please help me to continue coming to others and helping me to produce more videos for others as well as yourself by donating gifts. If you like this, please like and follow and share these videos. Math is easy. Take it step by step. Thank you for joining me.